What's up, everybody? James Duggan here with IGN, checking out some of my best plays from the Star Wars Battlefront 2 beta, starting off here on Takodana as the heavy class, and I'm currently using the FWMB-10K, which is the first and only unlockable heavy weapon in the beta, kind of analogous to an LMG from something like Battlefield. Now, the First Order are trying to capture that artifact down there, but I am disallowing them the ability to do that from on top of Maz Kanata's castle, an excellent camping point once they do actually capture the artifact from the interior of the castle. I'm going to use a Detonite Charge there, which is one of these star cards, very divisive from those loot boxes. And here comes a First Order Grunt. Going to blast him to smithereens. And then his colleagues as well, who are trying to capture the artifact, can't let the Empire win here, or the remnants of the Empire. But of course, no good deed goes unpunished, as one of those First Order Grunts comes up and melees me in the back of the head. Well done. Keeping things moving here on Takodana, but this time playing as the First Order, more specifically a jet or rocket trooper. Of course, you can purchase these with battle points, which are accrued during a match, and when you die, you will lose access to the class and must purchase it again to play again. So 2,000 battle points in this instance basically buys you a First Order jet trooper for the duration of your life. Now, depending upon the faction you're playing, you get a different weapon, and I actually much prefer the Resistance jet or rocket trooper, who has this excellent long-range rifle, but the First Order one will have to do. And basically, my role, since I have a lot of HP as this class relative to the standard Grunt, is to just clear the way, because as we're about to see, I cannot actually pick up the objective myself, though try as I might, equipping the rocket launcher instead, which actually does great work against that Wookiee. This enables my teammate to pick up the artifact and deliver it for the win.
Item secured. The Resistance is no match for our forces.
Next up, it's Galactic Assault. This is the battle for Theed on Naboo, which was the other playable map during the beta. We'll talk a little bit more about Strike later. I am playing as a Separatist battle droid, Roger, using the default heavy blaster, which is the E5C for the Separatists, and will vary depending upon what faction you choose, but mechanically, all of those standard weapons pretty much behave the same for the heavy, which, as we can see, for how much this thing behaves like an SMG, it has a lot of range, as we see me take out that sniper there. And I actually think this is one of the best default weapons if it stays the same going into release. I think the heavy class is definitely a good choice for beginners. The Republic completely oblivious to my presence as they try and pick up the ion shot to disable the MTT, and I'm going to prevent them from doing that thanks to this awesome weapon. Back over to Strike on Takodana, playing as a specialist, and this particular mode, Strike, is my favorite we've seen in Battlefront 2015 or Battlefront 2. It's 8v8, it's objective-based, and it's kind of one-flag CTF. With the Resistance defending and the First Order assaulting and trying to capture that point. Speaking of capturing the artifact, there's the artifact carrier, and I'm going to use my A280 CFE, which is an unlockable DMR-type sniper rifle, semi-automatic and very fast-firing, and you can actually purchase a 3-shot burst mode. Now, you can see the First Order pouring out of Maz Kanata's castle, and that's because they are spawning there. The spawns switch as soon as you capture the artifact and are a little bit predictable, so spawn camping is totally a thing. Trying to take out this heavy, but unable to do so. My weapon overheats, and there's the active reload mechanic. I can choose between a quick active reload if I hit the blue marker, or a little bit of heat resistance if I hit the yellow marker. Now it's time to switch things up with the Infiltrator ability, allowing me to completely melt that Flame Trooper. This is the 3-shot burst EE4 from Battlefront 1, but a supersized version of it, and that allows us to get the victory. The Specialist class, for the record, very powerful in the beta, a good choice for release. You saw me using the battle droid on Theed earlier, doing pretty well, and that actually allowed me to get 5,000 battle points and unlock Darth Maul relatively early. That was a saber throw into a chokehold there. Now, this hero is much more aggressive than his counterpart in the beta, which was Rey, and I think actually just more powerful in general. But for an asymmetrical mode like Galactic Assault, I think that's actually okay, because the Republic start out with a much better foothold. I think their objective is a lot easier than the Separatists, so the idea that the Separatists would have a better hero, I think, is totally fine. Darth Maul's kit is very aggressive. He cannot deflect blaster bolts like other Jedi like Rey. Instead, he has a spin attack, he has a dash, he has all kinds of mobility, and you're about to see that put to its full potential here in this hallway, taking out 5 or 6, who can count, Republic soldiers there. And he's a very fun character to play. Now, you can see his HP regenerating there, and that's something that is crucial with heroes. They are not static in the sense that their HP pool will just diminish all the time. You can actually come back, recover a bit of HP, and then go back in. Speaking of Rey, there she is, and here's a skillful display of spamming the left mouse button, which I emerged the victor of. And just like I was talking about, gonna retreat a little bit, recover some of that HP. But it is worth noting that if you take a certain amount of damage, your maximum HP pool will diminish. So while that does put a soft limit on how long you can hold the hero for, the variance there is pretty high. For instance, I played Darth Maul here for about 8 minutes, and that's when the match ended. I'm not sure how much longer I could have kept going. But this is something that if you are familiar with the skill set of the hero, you can do very well with. And if you're unfamiliar, make poor choices, you can spend 5,000 skill points like this gentleman did with Han Solo, and then lose the hero in a matter of seconds. Darth Maul is very good for this final portion of the Theed map. We can see we've secured the throne room, and that is a victory for the Separatists. Thank goodness. That means episodes 2 and 3 will never take place, and we won't have to see them. For more on Battlefront 2, including guides and more gameplay videos from launch, keep it right here on IGN.